So last year during the Brazilian Grand Prix, Esteban Ocon and Max Verstappen had a clash. So in my opinion, okay. Well, all right. As personally, Ocon was not in the wrong because he kept on the track, and it's up to whoever's on the track to watch out for anyone who's on the track. So that was my view on it. But according to the F1 experts, so Ocon should have respected the front leader, the front runner, and just give him room, and that's it. If he had to pass him, he had to do it maybe in a straight line. So I guess Ocon was no wrong. So that has been established that Ocon was the wrong, but at the same time, Max Verstappen should have watched out for him because he had a lot more to lose. But my thoughts on that right now is what happened with Max Verstappen, what he did after. So he went after Ocon and shoved him and shoved him up the weight scale. So, and that can be considered violence, inciting violence, especially in this day and age in professional sports. So he was given somewhat something like community service, which is in professional, well, right now, let's say in professional sports, in professional leagues, that would have been violence. So that would have been either a suspension or a fine. But what he was given was, let's say, an community service. It didn't help anyone because he was in the booth with stewards at the Formula E race, and that really didn't help anyone. It was just for his own. It was pretty much just I don't know, just to say he did something, but he really didn't do anything. That was not any form of type of punishment. He didn't get any punishment. I don't remember him being fined, and he didn't lose anything by what he did. So in the future, if another driver, let's say another young guy, wants to do the same thing, they could say, well, this is what's going to happen, and because they have to stay consistent. So what Formula One needs to do is have a consistent guideline that punishes someone who does something similar. You cannot have violence going on. I mean, it's not violence; it wasn't violent, but you can't have that going on. He's just you can't have that going on. So they need some guidelines to deal with such behavior. So especially now that Formula One has a lot of young guys on the 25 or on Formula One, so they need to clamp that down. And this sort of reminds me of Vettel, when Vettel bumped into the side of Hamilton because he felt that Hamilton slowed down, brake checked him during the Baku Grand Prix. So that's two incidents of people losing their cool. So Formula One needs to do something about that. So Max Verstappen, if let's say the Mercedes, the Red Bull, and the Ferrari had the same pace, the same exact pace, and they could compete with each other, I don't think he would come out on top. He would win races because he's aggressive and he can drive the car. But if other drivers start to use their better judgment, tactics, and other stuff against him, he wouldn't last. He's not going to win. I don't think he would win because he's just not. Right now, he's not solid. He's not a stellar person. He has the driving part down, but he's not matured. So this is his fifth season in Formula One, and especially what he said during the Mexican Grand Prix. He's that yes, I drove fast during the yellow zone, so that's just not the sign of a mature person. He wouldn't know that. Okay, well, this is my chance to get away with it. Let's move on. That's it. I don't need to brag about it. So yeah, so I don't think he would win if they were all equal. He would win races, yeah, definitely. But when it came down to it, no, I don't think so. All right, and helmets. So there was being discussion about the helmets that F1 does not allow enough creativity on the helmet on the helmet design, because they only allow you to have one special helmet. And this is all due to Vettel. We should all be pointing the finger at Sebastian Vettel. He created this mess. Before, there was not they didn't have that ruling. So Sebastian Vettel created this mess when he was with Red Bull. They used to allow him, at one point he used to have a different helmet for every single race. I can't remember what year. I should have looked it up, but I couldn't find exactly what year it was. But at one point, I remember he used to have it literally a different helmets for every single race. It was a special helmet for the race, for the venue, but but I guess some fans could not recognize him. I guess it's more of the casual fan, no, not the diehard fan, the people who actually follow F1. So it's more of the casual fan, maybe the person who only watches F1 because F1 is in their city, not the person who follows F1, who will tune in and watch every single race and follow the championship. So I guess it's just more of the person who follow because F1 is their city, or maybe they just have a favorite driver and they only watch it just because of that favorite driver. So I guess that's what they made, because those people could not recognize the drivers. But I have my own suggestions. So maybe they could, they don't have to allow, to let it all be, all out like Vettel did, but they could allow, maybe I have 5 variations. So they could allow you to have a home race, a helmet for your, especially, so you could have 4 special helmets and 1 standard one. So you should have a standard helmet, and then they could allow you 4 special ones. If you want, you could take them, or you don't have to take them. So 1 for your home race, if you have a home race or whatever is closest to your home race, and 1 you could do for a driver tribute. If you have a special driver and you want to do a tribute helmet for that driver, you can. And another one, so the third one will be for location tribute. If you have a special venue that you love, that a driver loves so much that they want to do a tribute for, so they could do that. Just like Daniel Ricciardo did the Longhorns tribute for the U.S. Grand Prix. And then a personal choice. So a personal choice tribute. If you have a random race, maybe your favorite race, a race where you always do good at, or maybe your 50th race, your 100th race, your 200th race. So they could do that. And then obviously you have your standard helmet. So that's my idea. So hopefully, I wonder, how can I get this to Formula One? I should write to them and suggest these ideas to them. Yeah, I think that should work. And so only, so 4 standard, so you have your 4 standard and your 4 special helmets and your and your regular standard helmet. So that's only 5 variations. So yeah, that's not hard to remember. In the season of 21, 22 races, yeah, that's not hard to remember. And I doubt most drivers will use all 4 special, designs. So I doubt it. And moving on to Alex Albon, he should be pushing for a podium in the next 2 races, especially given that the Red Bull has been very good at Interlagos. So this weekend he should be pushing. This weekend in Interlagos in Brazil, he should be pushing for a podium, because top speed is not really a factor at the circuit, and given how Max Verstappen has driven there the past two years, so he's in the right car. So look for him to probably try to make the podium, or to make the podium. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And Lewis Hamilton, 6-time champion. What can you say? Everybody has to say anything. I don't really have. There's nothing really to say. I should make a special video just for that. But to be sure, now when you think back in 2007, that Alonso, the 2-time champion, he was so the rookie he was facing was not a rookie. Fernando Alonso was facing the 6-time champion, because I'm not saying that Lewis was a 6-time champion then, but he had the skills and the maturity that he has now. So in 2007, Lewis Hamilton has the same driving skills that he has now. So that's the guy that Fernando Alonso was facing. That was a 6-time champion. So over time, he just manifested that that maturity, that know-how into the six world championships. But that was the guy Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso was facing, a six-time world champion. So, right, yeah. So that's why that's why it went the way it went. So because I mean, can you imagine a rookie just doing that to a I mean, it's just amazing, mind-boggling when I think about it now. When I used to watch him, it was but now when you think about that, a rookie challenging a two-time champion and Fernando Alonso, this guy's a bull. This guy's a raging bull. So it's amazing. And Sebastian Vettel was saying that it's not so important to beat Charles Leclerc. Well, it's not important because he's not beating him right now. Obviously, every single driver in Formula One wants to be the teammate, so he wants to beat him, obviously. But he's not beating him right now. Right now, he's down by 19 points. It's unlikely that he will overhaul and pass him. It's very unlikely because they pretty much finish usually within two spaces of each other, or Leclerc is ahead of him usually also. So that's why he's behind, right? So yeah, so it's not important to him to beat him because when you can't do nothing about something, you just let it go. He can't do nothing about it, so he's not going to worry about it. So that's why he will say it's not important. But yes, make no mistake, he would like to be ahead of him. Definitely. And when I think about it, Charles Leclerc could have won 6 races this year. So he could have won Bahrain if his car had not failed, Austria if he knew to defend the way he does now, if he knew to push the boundaries of the rules. So obviously he won Belgium, so he won Italy, so he could have won Singapore, and also he could have won Russia. So that's So he could have won Russia if I want to do so. That's 6 races, or as Matthew McConaughey did it. This way, yeah. This. So he could have won 6 races. That's how Matthew McConaughey did it when Hamilton won the 6th championship. This is how he did it, how he did his fingers. So, okay. Anyway, so Leclerc could have won 6 races. That's more races than Valtteri Bottas. Bottas has 4 race wins this year. So I mean, he could win the next 2 races, but so far in this season, Leclerc could have won 6 races. I mean, obviously no. There's always stuff that happens. So no, he didn't, because we could say Lewis Hamilton could have won a lot more races, or Bottas could have won more races. But it was very realistic. He could have won 4 straight. Leclerc could have won 4 straight races this year. Maybe the championship battle might look a lot different if he did that. If that did happen. And so, my prediction: Verstappen for the win, personally. But Leclerc and Hamilton are always lurking behind. So, and then Verstappen still has to deal with his inner self, so his inner self still. But one person we can't forget, I can't forget, is Nico Hülkenberg. So this is like the tail end of his time in Formula One, at least for this year. We don't know about next year or the year after. So, and he's been, this is a place where he's done well before in the past. In his rookie year, he's qualified on pole. I mean, it was raining, so he qualified on pole. And in 2012, he was fighting for the win against Lewis Hamilton. But on second thought, he should have just followed Lewis Hamilton home in second place. He would have had a podium then. So if he had just followed him, but then he caused that he tangled with Lewis Hamilton, and Lewis Hamilton crashed out and retired from the race, and Hülkenberg was given a penalty, and he finished 5th. So when he thinks about that, he probably saying, yeah, I should just followed him and been at the podium. That's it. So I don't know. So if you could work some magic, hey, I like to see it. So hopefully he could do something. We'll see. I don't know. But I'd like to see him try something. All right, that's my thoughts for the race and for the rest of the season. Thank you for the rest of the season. Thank you for watching.